Thank you for coming to the panel discussion we have sponsored by the Volkswagen Group. Today we will be discussing Volkswagen diesel engine defeat devices and taking questions from the audience. We are joined today by a member of the Air Enforcement Division of the EPA and a researcher from West Virginia University. I'd like to begin this discussion first by saying that all private car manufacturers, including VW, have a responsibility to manage and control our effect on our cars and the emissions that we have, and we actively design our vehicles to maximize efficiency and minimize our environmental impact. Government shares this responsibility for environmental regulation, and that's why we will hear first from our representative from the EPA.
The US EPA has confirmed that VW cars emit nitrogen oxide levels between 10 and 40 times larger than the legal limit in the United States. Volkswagen was able to pass regulatory tests due to the diesel engine cars made from 2009 to 2016, using a defeat device that senses when the car's tests are being performed, and the device was not only installed in Volkswagen cars but also Porsche and Audi models.
So yeah, as the officer said, a defeat device is such that detects that when automobiles are being tested in a dyno and automatically turns the NOx trap or after treatment system, as some companies call it, on. When this happens, catalytic oxidizers convert NO from exhaust gas to NO2. This NO2 reacts with carbon that was trapped before from the particulate filter to release CO2.
So at this point, we are recalling all of the vehicles that are part of this issue, and the owners, like yourselves, can have them either bought back by VW, or alternatively, we are working on ways that the problem can be fixed retroactively. Either way, all vehicles will be fixed or bought back by VW by December 2018.
We're allowing for people that wish to speak from the audience to ask questions about what they're concerned about. Here comes the person now.
Oh yeah, I have the 2014 Volkswagen Jetta. So what am I supposed to do in the meantime? I just bought this car from you and now you say I can't drive it? Are the emissions coming from my car going to harm my health and the health of my 4 kids?
So yeah, emissions from the vehicles release nitrogen oxide, which, when in the presence of sunlight and reactive hydrocarbons, leads to the formation of NO2. This then reacts further with NO to produce ozone and photochemical smog.
Doesn't this smog cause breathing issues and negative health effects to people? So is this going to happen to everyone in the country?
Again, we are recalling all vehicles for anyone who has purchased the affected models. At this point, we don't see the emissions from our vehicles acutely harming any individuals at this point, but we do understand the risk associated with it, so that's why we are working as fast as we can to remediate it.
What was the reasoning behind this? Do you really think you could beat the standards that the EPA had set and get away with it?
The ultimate goal of VW is to make the most efficient cars that are available to consumers at a reasonable price. Our goal was to increase efficiency by minimizing fuel consumption, and we know that as the NOx trap becomes full, it needs more fuel to work. So by letting more NOx slip through it, we reduce the amount of fuel consumption that ultimately results in consumers having to purchase more gas and it being more expensive. So none of us were aware of the great impact that 1.4 more grams of NOx per kilometer could have to environmental health, but we realize that now and are working, as I said.
How did this ethically come to be within your company? We have a deceit at a massive level from all stages of the development of these cars. Not only in the design stage of the defeat device itself, but in the construction and planning of the car. It was also previously claimed by your company that the discrepancies between the lab testing and the road testing must have been because of technical difficulties and nothing else.
So since design, engineering, and especially the upper management didn't have any knowledge of the defeat devices being installed, like we said, it was installed by rogue engineers. It was assumed that the discrepancies were caused by a variety of reasons. We understand that when our cars go on the roads, they perform differently than when they're in controlled environments, in lab tests, and seeing difference in performance like we did is not all too uncommon. So that's initially why we didn't expect some sort of device to be installed. I must admit that this company we are at fault. We have betrayed trust of our customers and our shareholders and the general public, and we apologize for that, and we are working actively and as quickly as possible to earn that trust back.